Hello everybody and welcome to G4G on YouTube. It is Napalm Dawn and we are here for Thursday night fights on a Friday. So it is going to be Friday night fights. It's a little busy Thursday, and since this was the week of the month where I work on Friday, got a little messed up with my Thursdays over there. So I realized during the stream today, I was like, oh wow, I totally forgot about Thursday night fights. So here we are. I'm in my secondary recording location, so hopefully everything will still sound the same. And we're going to go ahead and get into another 5 fights. Today, the disclaimer will be that, yet again, there isn't going to be a mobile version of this game. What you are seeing is being filmed with beta 6.04. That will explain the differences that you see between what I'm playing and what you're playing. So any questions of why don't I see lockboxes or characters or missions or stuff like that, that's going to be answered by the fact that that's what's in 5.2, and 6.04 is a bit more advanced. There is no ETA yet on beta 6, however, I would suggest you go to Discord and read the several paragraphs that Dubs put out today on Discord, or actually I should say put out on Discord on 7/25. If you look at the 2 rather large paragraphs he put out there in response to somebody, it will kind of explain the current status of events. So let's go ahead and get into this week's 5 fights. I'm going to go ahead and recycle these jets over here. I'm going to collect my daily spinner, and this one is actually really good. A 50, a 50, a 20, and 20 gold. So we're looking at a 4 out of 9 chance that we're going to get something good, but I predict I will likely get the bucket of ISOs, which is okay, because I have a task currently for the Havoc Spec Ops to get 20 ISOs, so this would complete a task that I've got. And I wind up with the chaotic ISOs, which is okay, but not great for what we're doing today. When I collect all, I will probably complete the 20 ISO task. Maybe. Oh, it's actually hung up a little bit there. But yeah, okay, so task 21 out of 25 for collecting Havoc is out of the way. So now it's collect 10 lockboxes, which we get from fighting the group boss, or I could actually buy them in the store. Let's go ahead and set up for today's PvAI, or PvP, whichever way, the format's interchangeable. We are going to go ahead and do a bit of an energy team this week. And I'm going to go ahead, and since there's going to be a lot of blasters, and I potentially want to take advantage of extra turns, I am going to get a tactician suit, if I can find the arrow. There it is. We're going to leave that gear, and we're going to get the Radian cannon, and I was hoping for the Source of the Nile. I don't think I've collected it yet. The Source of the Nile would be positively fantastic for this team up. It basically says that everybody who does energy attacks gets a small heal, and that is what 2 of the people are doing here, including my agent. So I would love a counter energy weapon similar to the Cosmic Cardinal. I could use the Radian pistol, which would work well with this. However, I think I will go with the heavy ion beam. Okay. Having the Source of the Nile, which is a drop in Mission 3 of the Havoc Spec Ops, would be perfect for this, but we don't have it. So the Cosmic Cardinal, the Radian cannon, and the Radian rifle, basically the team is going to feed the agent energy charge, because that's what the Radian rifle does. So last week we were in 5.9 for the beta. Today we're back in 6. Let's go ahead and get into it. By the way, at least as of now, and maybe she will be fixed by the next open beta, for Captain Marvel, using her level 1, her Photon Blast, is the absolute way to go. Now, the agent has a Phoenix Flare in his hand. If Miss Marvel was going first, I would say that I would use the Absorb Energy, because it's possible she may tank that hit. This is Agent Jury. This is a very tough team. They almost beat me on stream today, and they have beaten me in other videos. Ghost Rider is really, really tough to deal with in this when you have an infiltrator, because he gets those double attacks that really, really stack the debuffs. The performance is going to be a little wonky in this video, because I'm recording it at my secondary location, so it's essentially streaming the game from my main PC. Ooh. Well played, Agent Jury, setting up for the big Phoenix Flare hit. So, the Radian Rifle, Ambient Charge. Nearby energy attacks cause Ambient Charge, increases the damage of Radian weapons, of which the Radian Cannon is, and the Radian Cannon not only exploits attrition, which is good for the burning from Iron Man, and the radiation exposure, it also is a counter weapon. So every time somebody uses an energy attack, the Radian Cannon's damage goes up. So the first thing we're going to do is use the quick action heavy ion beam on Ghost Rider. And then we're going to use the Radian Rifle, which will start the ambient charge stack. Not too sure where that came in. Doctor Strange is going offensive, not defensive. This is a little painful, but not too bad. We really need a lot of damage on Ghost Rider right now. And we might get it, because she's got an extra turn. That's a bug from the Cosmic Cardinal. And that heavy ion beam, you'll notice, leaves the green splash on the screen. That is an unfortunate visual bug. Unfortunately, we did not kill Ghost Rider before he takes his turn, so this is probably going to be a loss, as we are so unhealthy right now, and my agent is close to death. This is a tough, tough team. Yeah. Boy, we are super screwed. I think... No, Ghost Rider will not die. He needs more damage. Okay. He's out of the way. Iron Man is dead. My agent is going to be dead as soon as he takes his turn. Miss Marvel's going to... Yeah, woof. We are wiped. Yeah. Honestly, Agent Jury's kit should be modified to use the Dark Sigil, and you would probably never ever win against these guys unless you brought healing items. That is a super, super tough team. So we are 0 for 1. Okay, Agent Valentin, you guys have seen him before. This is actually good that Miss Marvel starts off, because she'll get crits off of the enemy agent. I'm not seeing a lot of what I would consider tankable energy over there, so I'm just going to go on the offense, and that's huge. And the ambient charge is already going. Fury's a pretty decent opener. We can deal with that. Now, there's nobody threatening to Iron Man over there. I would like to get some dots going rather than go for raw energy. Just so we have something to, you know, tick them down if we get force field. Yeah, force fielded, force caged on us. So far, so good. Since we have a tactician in hand, we now have to walk around Invisible Woman a little bit. Cosmic energy stacking. That's okay. We can deal with Hex Spheres. And there's a Radiant Cannon counter, and we are off to the races on this one. So this one's looking really, really good. That should cause a stack on my agent, because it's an energy attack. Yeah, there's Cosmic Energy. Oh, wow. Huge, huge assistance from my agent over there. Unfortunately takes a backfire from Scarlet Witch's Hex. Invisible Woman throws a class-based counter in there. She should not have been doing that. You're not supposed to proc class counters like that, so that is kind of a good example of bugs that still need to be fixed, and this is why you guys don't have, you know, version 6.04 yet. That is an annoying bug. It's playable. Clearly you can live with that, but it's still not something that's supposed to happen. So we're 1-1. Kind of wish I was seeing more ambient charges go off over there. There was a lot of energy attacks that I think we're not registering. So let's get into fight number 3. Should be good for us. We've got a blaster for the agent to tackle. We have a bruiser for the blasters to tackle. And we have Quicksilver's a scrapper, who is kind of a nothing burger in this. Let's go energy. Let's see if we get an ambient charge stack on my agent. Yes. Okay, good. Pretty big punch from the Hulk, but the absolute wrong target to do it on. We have to go for the enemy agent since he tanks. Deflector shield holds on Iron Man, so Quicksilver was basically a moot point there. Okay. Agent is dead before he takes a turn, and now we are blasters that are just going to whoop up on Hulk. We're going to see the agent ambient charges here. Really, really good assistance from my agent again, so the props be ever in my favor. But again, not seeing ambient charge going off. Let's look at his stacks and see if he's gaining them, as we're just not visibly seeing it. This should clearly give him a stack. We should really see it on this attack. And yet we're not. It actually disappeared. Maybe it's only supposed to be one stack. That might be it. Maybe it doesn't stack multiple times. Let's see if this will proc it, if it doesn't actually kill Quicksilver. Okay, alright, yeah, that's it. It must only stack once. Okay, we are 2-1. Alright, so, you know, a little bit of a learning lesson there with ambient charge, and I do wonder how much it actually increases the damage of that Radiant Cannon. Now, we could equip the Radiant Pistol, but I like having a quick action in there. I am under no threat to put dots out over there. I want to experiment with something. Okay. I'm going to give my agent an ambient charge. Alright. Again, nice addition from my agent. He's really being super supportive in these last few battles over here. Now, we know we're not expecting a charge there, but I want to see how much damage the Radian cannon is going to do with a charge under my belt. Let's see this. Okay, wow, that is really huge. That is 3/4 of the enemy's hit points right there. So this plan is certainly working out. I just overestimated the amount of ambient charges. Is it still on him? Okay, so it lasts. Alright. We can clearly see what the... Ooh, Jesus! Okay. Question for you guys. During the stream today, we had to do 3 PvAI matches for the Havoc tasks. And we had one match where Thing on my side went against Hercules on the enemy side. It was this team. I want to know from you guys, because we didn't answer this during the stream, who wins in a fight between Thing and Hercules. Now, we know Thing and the Hulk have battled a few times, and I believe each one has their victories. But, like, where do you think Hercules comes into this? Hercules is a demigod, so who wins between Thing and Hercules? I'm super curious on that one, because I'm not as familiar with Hercules' comic lore, so I don't really know what big names he's gone up against, especially the super strong characters, Juggernaut, Colossus, Hulk, Thing, you know, those guys, and obviously, you know, people like Gladiator and stuff like that. But yeah, let me know who wins that one. Okay, simple, easy victory. Let's go ahead and do one more. We understand the ambient charges now. My agent is doing a bang-up job. Miss Marvel's crit on Hercules was a sight to behold over there. And we'll make this the last battle. Oh boy, we might go out on another loss here. Unfortunately, my agent is not going to be buff. Well, maybe the quick action... Yes, it did. Perfect. My agent fed himself. This might be super handy. Ghost Rider goes very late. To be honest, Doctor Strange's Dark Void is also... I hope he doesn't open up with it. Okay, that's not bad. I think we're gonna have to do Unibeam on him. Okay. Maybe. If Carol gets a good crit. Oh, stored energy. We didn't take a lot of damage from that. We might be okay. What are we gonna do? Oh, the radiation exposure. No, we have to kill him. We get a lucky extra turn. That just saved the day. Alright, are we gonna get revenge, folks? We might get some revenge here. We have to go for Doctor Strange. I know that means dumping a lot of blasters on a tactician, but I think he's the highest threat now. The agent... Damn. Alright, well, the agent shot his wad because he already used the flare. Doctor Strange is hurt. Another Unibeam stack if we're gonna give him... Ooh. Chat, we're getting our revenge. Yeah, okay. If it's not an AoE... No, it's not. Alright, good. I think we got this. Even with the shield on him, Doctor Strange went out on a sword. I think he knew he was gonna die, so he's like, alright, here. Take this. It is dangerous to go alone. Yeah, we dropped the quick action. That is unfortunate. We need a Radiant Cannon or a Cosmic Cardinal hit. but we still have Unibeam. Boy, we got it. We didn't even drop anybody. Nice revenge. That's what you like to see. If you're going to lose to somebody, getting a chance to beat their ass down the next time you see them is so worth it. So absolutely worth it. Okay, folks. That was a good week. So this is a good energy-based team. You can do something similar to this once you get to the Havoc Spec Ops and start collecting the Radian kit. So the Radian rifle is a upgrade to the Radian pistol. You research it. The Radian cannon is purchasable in the store. The Cosmic Cardinal is a drop. The heavy ion beam comes from earlier. You can get it in the store, I believe. But the goal is basically, once you get the Radian rifle and one other Radian item, the cannon is the best way for it rather than the Radian pistol. Just stack your team with energy people and stack your agent with energy gear. Ideally, if you could have another counter-based weapon that does energy, like another Cosmic Cardinal type weapon that isn't the Bishop, that's really, really good for this. However, now that we know the ambient charge only stacks once, you don't need to go overboard because it's not like you're going to keep feeding yourself stacks. Probably just the Cosmic Cardinal and then a good quick action like the heavy ion beam, or maybe even the Magneto shield, or maybe even a healing scroll like the Scroll of Baloney, something like that, so that if you face an agent jury, you've got some way of staying alive, and then you just run energy heroes. Also, the Source of the Nile would be great later in the game when you get the Rectifier. The Rectifier would be amazing for this kind of setup, but this is just a really solid energy team. Other than the Radiant Cannon and the Heavy Ion Beam, it's a relatively cheap team to build. And we'll just check research before we end the video over here. And, yep, we'll start an ISO. And we're all set. Thanks for being here with me, guys. Sorry it's a day or two late. But this is episode 51, I believe, which means next week's episode will be a year. And then I'll probably take a little bit of a break from these videos. And then probably resume in a couple weeks. So I will see you guys next Friday on Twitch, or I will see you guys next Thursday night here on YouTube. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. Appreciate you watching the video.